Hello everyone, Inventor719 here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a vlog. It is exam time right now, so it's really busy at school, and I'm kind of in the process of moving and stuff, so I don't have too much spare time. So invention videos are kind of on pause right now for maybe another week or so. So stay tuned for those. I have a few cool ideas in the works, especially when I go back to where I live. Aside from school, I'll be able to do some bigger fun projects, so please stay tuned for that. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I do aside from engineering and inventing stuff, and that is cars. I can't see if you can see what's behind me, but my car is right there behind me. So I'm going to be showing you guys a bit about that today, what it is, what I've done to it, and my plans for the future. So please watch the video all the way to the end. Got some cool stuff to show you guys. Give me a thumbs up if you like my car or this type of video. Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for more invention videos. And here we go. So this is my car right here. If you guys want to see more about it real quick, go check out my other channel called JD Mods. There's how you spell it right there. Of course, I have a window banner with it for advertising. But anyway, this car here is my 1993 Lexus GS300, which is pretty much everything aside from stock nowadays. So first we'll go around the outside, then I'll show you the engine, interior, stuff like that. Make sure you stay for the engine. If you know anything about cars, you'll enjoy that. So basically, exterior, it has a new paint job. If you don't know, these cars used to be two-tone, where that would be white, this would be brown. Now as you can see, it's all a pearly white. It has these 18-inch CSA wheels on them. They're alloy wheels, not bad. I'm going to be upgrading them because they are a bit too narrow for my liking. As you can see, the ones on the back are inset a little bit. And this car is pretty fast, so it has a hard time getting grip with those tires on it. We're going to head around to the back here. Might be kind of hard to see because it's sunny and really shadowy. But it has the Japanese style Aristo taillights, because in Japan this car was called the Toyota Aristo, which is a nice fun fact. Over here is the Lexus GS300. Here is the exhaust on it. It is a dual tip exhaust. They are 4.5-inch mufflers, I believe, and it's a 3-inch exhaust all the way to the turbocharger. This car is turbocharged. I'll show you that in a bit. This is the Japanese 3-piece spoiler. It is pretty rare and not common around here. What else do we have on the outside? Got a few stickers, which some people don't like, but I don't mind. Of course, I showed you the window banner already. It says JD Mod's Turbo Couch. Then I have a headlight mod. I shined them up with some sandpaper and clear coat. Then there used to be a orange signal thing here I took out, but still put in an orange bulb, so I stayed nice and legal. The last thing to note about the car is the front mount intercooler. You can see it down there and from a distance. And of course I have yellow fog lights because I think they look good on a Japanese car like this one. And lastly, the roof is painted black because that's pretty common on newer Lexuses. So I guess the last owner painted the roof black because it looks like a newer Lexus and it's kind of a cool styling. I think I like it. So let's go ahead and pop the hood and show you what's inside. So the outside was nothing special, but under the hood is where I've done most of the work. So here's the engine bay. So this is the Japanese motor. This is called a 2JZ GTE, 2JZ, 2JZ, wherever you're from, I don't know. Anyway, so this has been converted to a single turbo, which is right over here, as you can see. This is a Garrett T61. It's a 61mm turbo. Can't remember the ARs off by hand, but it's the smaller variety, so 0.7 front and I think 0.86 in the back. It's a T4 turbo. If you aren't into cars, some of this may not make sense, but if you are, then hopefully you are enjoying this. Let me know either way. Over here I have one of my most recent mods. This is a power steering tank, which as you can see is nice welded aluminum with braided lines. If you aren't into cars, you can see how this may look better than the stock rubber lines that just looks, I don't have many left to show you, but just like this but smaller, just the black rubber lines. I did them stainless steel instead, going to a stainless steel cooler down there. This is my intercooler. It's a Greddy 4-row, I think, not 100% sure actually. I have an upgraded radiator to keep it nice and cool. This is my big fan to cool it down. That's kind of dangerous when it's on. What else can I tell you about the motor? I did a slight refresh with new gaskets, new valve stem seals, custom oil fill knob here, which is red, which I kind of like it. I painted the engine bay, as you can tell. Guess I kind of left that part out, but there used to be a battery and fuse box there, as well as a few ABS modules, traction control. So I removed as much as possible, moved the battery and fuse box to the trunk. I can show you that in a few seconds, I guess. I got these two new red hella horns. They're really loud and exciting. This here, if you don't know, is called an oil catch can. As you can see, it's about 2 liters big and has 2 breathers on the top of it to vent the air. And it has 3 hoses on the side of it. This hose on the top here goes to my intake manifold to provide a vacuum so that it pulls whatever is in these 2 lines, which if you follow under my intake manifold, go to the side of my valve cover. There's one of them. There's the other one. So the job of the catch can is to vent all the extra pressure in the top of your engine so that your engine doesn't blow up, which would be the worst thing, but usually just the valve covers would pop off and you'd leak a lot of oil along the side of your engine, which is no good. And the last kind of cool thing in the engine bay is this guy down here. This is called an HKS Dli Ignition Amplifier, or twin spark, whatever you want to call it. Twin power, I think is what it says right on it. And that gets wired into your stock ignition for your coil packs so that you have a nice strong spark. So there's my engine bay. I'll give you one more shot over here of it. So it's nice and clean. I painted it, as I said, and clear coated it, so it should stay nice and clean like this for quite a while. And I cleaned up the side of the block. So the whole engine is pretty minty clean, if I do say so myself. This is where I put most of my time and work into. And now let me show you guys the interior. Here's the driver's side of the car. I'll show you this because it's the most interesting and only modified part, really. So starting off here, you can see this steering wheel. It's just a kind of Chinese eBay steering wheel. It's a racing steering wheel. I like it because it's smaller diameter than my stock steering wheel, so it feels a bit more fun to drive. I don't really know how to explain it, but less like you're driving a truck, I think. It's also a quick release, so you can screw that thing off and then just pop it off. Put it up there like all the cool kids do. It makes it easier to get into your car if you're a bigger dude. I'm not, but maybe it will. And people can't steal your car when you take it off. Here's my custom e-brake. I got a hydraulic e-brake and hooked it up to a cable. The reason I did that is because I manual swapped this car. It used to be automatic. As you can see, I now have 3 pedals. The manual transmission I used is from a Nissan 350Z. I used a CD009, it is called, so it's a 6-speed transmission, and I have a stage 5 clutch in it, which is good to 580 foot-pounds at the engine, which should hold my power goals, which when I get it tuned in 2 weeks, should make around 500 horsepower to the wheels, which is around 600 at the engine. If you do want to see more videos of this car, again, check out JD Mods. We're going to be doing the tuning video, the final dyno video, everything like that in there. So check out that if you want. Here's my custom setup. This is aluminum and steel. I made my own center dash because the stock automatic one did not work. Here's my short shifter, Serial 9 CD999 short shifter with this nice red aluminum shift knob. Down here you can see my aftermarket computer. This is a piggyback system. This is the Dli EMU eManage Ultimate. Basically, this guy here is what you're looking at. He piggybacks onto the stock computer to change the air-fuel ratio, which you can see I have a gauge right there, so that when you're making lots of horsepower, you don't lean out or provide too little fuel. So that's kind of a very necessary thing. Then right here is my seat. As you can see, the seats used to look like that with tan leather, and I replaced the driver's seat with a racing seat and racing harnesses. I also retained the stock steering wheel for the road, so my car is still legal to drive on the roads. But there is the setup for racing. This seat is a lot lighter, so it saves weight and it's comfy, which I think is pretty cool. The back seat is about the same, with the exception of my custom harnesses going to some eye bolts down there. to give you guys an idea of how I did it, here's two of them over here. They're basically just little eye-rings that I connected to the floor of my car with washers and painted so they won't rust. Now let's go ahead to my trunk so I can show you guys the last thing I did, which, as I said, was relocate the battery and fuse box, which is right there. So there's my battery, there's my fuse box. I have quite a large fuse box with over 70 wires going to it, which I all had to extend from the engine bay and back here. But there it is. There's my battery with its cables going along the passenger side of the car. And there's my toolbox in the back seat in case something breaks. I even got my torque wrench and a few wooden blocks in case I park on a really steep hill. Now, lastly, before I end the video, I want to say my quickly future upgrades. As I said, I want to do wider tires and rims because this car, right now it has 245s on it, which is the width of the tire. And when you are making this much power, it can be really hard to hook up so your tires spin, and it's kind of dangerous. I also am going to be upgrading the brakes to Supra or LS400 4-pot brakes. Right now you can barely see it in there, but there's the caliper. They are 2 pots. So right now there's only 2 pistons, and I want to upgrade to 4 for better braking power, especially when you have this much horsepower again. And other than that, I'm getting it tuned, as I said, to make a good amount of power, probably high 400s to 520 wheels horsepower, and then maybe turning it up again in a few years. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog. Let me know if you guys want more vlogs or just stick to invention videos. I won't be offended. But please let me know, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.